Good morning, learners. I Priyank Sharma from Swami Rama Himalayan University, School of Management Studies, welcomes you to this session. And this session is about the introduction of SEBI and the regulations which are majorly framed by the SEBI. So, the Security Exchange Board of India plays a crucial role, and it plays in the capital markets, and it plays, or we can say it creates various types of regulations and the policies which are required for the purpose of regulation. So, let us start with the basics of the SEBI or the Security Exchange Board of India. Actually, this board was established in the year 1992 under the SEBI Act 1992, and it functions as the statutory regulatory body for the security markets in India. Prior to this year, the market regulations were fragmented. That means they were not consolidated and backed by lacked the uniform governance, which leads to the malpractices. We can have the big names or big scams in the particular market. After that, this SEBI, these were stopped and reduced to the minimum extents. The SEBI have headquarters in Mumbai, and it is the Indian financial hub, and SEBI operates under the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So, its jurisdiction covers all participants in the security markets. These participants are regulators, investors, brokers, FDIs, FIIs, and so more. Okay. So, like companies, brokers, mutual funds, portfolio managers, and investors also. So, the establishment of SEBI marked a significant transformation, and which lead to the, what is the transformation? It brought transparency, structure, and confidence to the Indian financial system, okay, or what we can say Indian financial ecosystem, that all bring by the SEBI in the share markets. Okay. So, what is the objectives of SEBI, or why this particular body came into existence, with what objectives, or what they want to do. Okay. So, now let us explore the objectives of SEBI, which can be summarized into three types of functions or the objectives, or the three core pillars we can say of the SEBI. And these three core pillars of the SEBI consists of, first one is investors protection. Prior to SEBI, there was a fraud, or a sense of fraud, or we can say a sense of fear in the people that we will not invest in the share markets. So, SEBI provided, or SEBI came up with the role of investor protection, and this is SEBI's primary goal. The Indian capital markets comprises of retail investors who often lack technical knowledge. SEBI's role is to safeguard their rights and ensure fair practices, which are followed by the companies and intermediaries. The first role of the SEBI was investor protection. The secondary, it also regulates the markets. So, SEBI is responsible for market regulation. Which type of market? Share market regulation, for designing and enforcing rules that ensure the market remain transparent, competitive, and efficient. It regulates the stock exchanges, depositories, brokers, and various other players which are operating in the stock markets. That is what the regulation function of the SEBI. As we talked about the three pillars, so the third pillar is market development. So, you need to have the rules for the development of market. If the market is going to perform well, then only you will earn something. So, besides regulation, SEBI also encourages innovation. How it promotes the innovation? It promotes modern technologies trading platforms and streamline processes to deepen the markets and attract broader participation. How the markets will run or how the market will run, if we will provide the proper infrastructure, then only the market is going to perform. So, SEBI came up with these three pillars, and together these objective ensures the Indian financial systems or Indian financial market operates smoothly, ethically, and with the trust of domestic as well as global investors. So, that means when the investors from the country and the investors from the other countries will come to the particular market if we have the strengthened market. So, with these objectives, SEBI came into existence, and what it functions. So, the functions of SEBI. So, what are the basic functions of the SEBI? These functions can be categorized into three core functions. The SEBI performs so many functions, but now we are talking about the core functions. So, the first one is regulatory function. That means the function which is related to the regulations, rules, in which SEBI frames rules for the proper working of the market, regulations and guidelines for whom? For the various participants who are operating in the stock market or security market. It monitors traders, registers entities and ensure compliance. Okay. For instance, it regulates brokers, merchant bankers and credit rating agencies too. It also performs the development function also. That means SEBI is also involved in the development function. That means development of the markets, providing new potential in the markets. So, in this function, SEBI works to develop infrastructure in the market. It encourages self-regulation, promotes investor education and supports the introduction of new instruments and practices like the growth of online trading system, demat systems were enabled by the SEBI's proactive stance. So, these are some functions which are performed by the SEBI for the development of the market. Third one or the third function which is performed by the SEBI can be categorized under the protective function. So, what are these protective functions? As we know that the SEBI have to protect the investors who are investing in the markets. So, SEBI protects investor from what? From malpractices such as insider trading, front running, pump and dump schemes and fraudulent acts by the different types of intermediates. It also takes strict action against companies that provide misleading information and violate the disclosure norms. So, collectively we can say that these functions reinforce investor confidence and supports the integrity of capital markets. So, till now we talked about the objectives and the functions of the SEBI. Okay. Now, let us come to the trading mechanism stocks markets. So, as far as trading mechanism in stock markets are concerned, the trading mechanism consists of T and T plus 1. So, what is T? T is actually known as a trading day and T plus 1 is known as the trading day plus 1 day. So, let us understand the mechanism. As we discussed this mechanism in the previous sessions also. So, let us have a overview of this particular mechanism. So, mechanism governed and enabled by SEBI, which ensures fair and accessible trading for every investor or for everyone who wants to enter in the stock market. So, as we know that India has two major stock exchanges, that is NSE and BSE. In the both types of markets, there is a working time in which the trade takes place, or we can say the decisions are going to buy or sell by the investors. So there is a proper time in which these markets operate. So it actually operates from 9 to 3:30. Actually, these both are fully electronic, order driven trading systems. So SEBI played a crucial role in this transition from the manual floor based trading to the transparent technology enabled systems. So that is what the role of the SEBI by converting the floor based trading system to the technology enabled systems. Okay. As we know that when the investor is going to buy something or buy the particular products in these markets, so they have to place different types of order as per their needs. So these different types of orders can be categorized as market orders, limit orders and stop loss orders also. So these are the various types of orders which can be placed by the different types of investors while going for purchase and sale of the particular shares. Limit orders states that if you want to purchase a particular scrip at a particular price, then you have to predetermine it and place the order by specifying the price, that at this price you want to buy or this price you want to sell. On the other hand, some trading is like that you want to stop the loss. That means you want to stop your loss, so you have to put that particular order stop loss order, and you have to fix a range at which you can bear the loss, thereafter you will not bear the loss, and it will lead to the minimize of loss. And at that particular price which you fix, that at this price it should be sold off, then share will be sold at that particular price. So SEBI ensures these orders are executedly fair without manipulation and provides guidelines for algorithm trading, settlement cycles also, and risk management in the share markets. Okay, that is what the role of the SEBI. Now coming to the powers. What are the powers of Security Exchange Board of India? What they can do, what they can't do. So let's come to the topic of power of SEBI. So let's see. SEBI is actually empowered with significant powers like allowing it to perform its function effectively, and these powers includes what? So let's see, these powers includes a regulation power, that they can regulate each and every player which is in the organization or which is in the system. So what is that? Regulation drafting. The SEBI can frame and implement rules and regulations which are applicable to all types of capital markets or capital market participants in the share markets. Okay. Thereafter, they can enforce. So they have the power of enforcement also. So what is the power of enforcement? So let's see the power of enforcement. It has the authority to investigate violations, conduct audits, and demand disclosures for entities. That is what the enforcement power which is with the SEBI. They also have the power to impose the penalties on the organizations, on the intermediaries, on the various type of players which are working in the stock markets. So SEBI can fine, suspend or even ban individuals or firms that engage in the malpractices. So stock exchange oversight, that means these SEBI or these SEBI bodies or the SEBI also perform the act of oversightness of the stock exchanges. It approves the bylaws and operations framework for stock exchanges. So these power ensures that SEBI can proactively and punitively when marking integrity is compromised. Okay. These are what the powers which are with the SEBI. Now coming to the key regulations or the key regulations by the SEBI. That means what are the regulations which are framed, or what are the topics on which the regulations are framed by the SEBI. So now let's have some of the key regulations enforced by the SEBI. These are not just rules but legal frameworks to protect markets as well as investors, and which are required. If you are not going to frame this particular law or not going to enforce that particular rules, then market will not be able to perform better. So SEBI regulates. What SEBI regulates? Companies which are issuing the securities. That means SEBI regulates the company which are issuing the securities in the stock markets. It also regulates the stock brokers and the sub brokers. What are the stock brokers? Actually, stock brokers are the brokers which are the intermediaries between the investors and the companies and facilitates the trading. They also regulates the mutual fund companies and the mutual fund assets also. And they also regulate the portfolio managers. That means the managers who are managing the mutual funds or the portfolios of the individual clients of the individual companies. They also regulate this. And they also, or the SEBI regulates also the credit rating agencies. That means the agencies which are going to rate the credits of the companies, which are going to share in the market. Okay. So its regulations govern all aspect, that is from IPO disclosure, that is initial public offer disclosures, and listing obligations. That means if the company is going to list in the share market, what are the obligations they have to do? Listing obligations to trading practices and investor grievance mechanism also. That means if an investor is facing any sort of problem in the market, how to deal with that grievance and how he can register the grievance. So one of the most important regulation is the LODR regulation. Let's talk about the LODR regulation. So SEBI framed this LODR regulations in 2015. What is that LODR regulation? It is the listing obligation and disclosure requirements. That means if a company is going to enlist or list himself in the Security Exchange Board of India or the share markets, what are the obligations they have to fulfill and what are the requirements that they have to disclose? It is mentioned in this particular regulation. So LODR regulation 2015, commonly known as LODR, is a cornerstone of corporate governance in India. Okay. This regulation ensures that all listed company must have to fulfill or must compliance the disclosures as well as obligations which are mentioned in this particular regulation. So these all companies make timely disclosure of the financial results which is mentioned, report board decisions, that board decisions can be mergers, acquisitions and any material impact that is going to impact the company. So these all will be the part of the mandatory disclosures which are framed under the LODR regulation 2015. So the main regulation framed by the SEBI is LODR regulation. Let's have an example to understand this particular regulation. So if a company plans a major acquisition, that means a company is trying to go for a acquisition, when under LODR it must immediately inform stock exchange and investors. That means if the company is going for acquisition, so it has to be informed to the investors as well as stock exchanges. This promotes transparency and prevents information asymmetry. So LODR also prescribes rule for board composition, auditor rotation, quorum requirements, and investor meetings, creating a more accountable corporation ecosystems. So these are the basically requirements which are under the LODR. Okay. Now let's talk about the concept that is insider trading and takeover code, which is again a policy which is framed by this particular SEBI. So let's talk about these insider trading and takeover codes and what are the regulations with regard to this topic. So insider trading regulation 2001-3, okay, states that what it states. Insider trading is actually the trading by the employees of a particular company, okay, on the basis of the information which they have, they try to roar up the market and pull down the market. That is prohibited. So prohibits the use of unpublished price sensitive information. So insider trading regulation, what it states, it prohibits the use of unpublished price sensitive information to make gains. That means some informations are available with the employees of the company and they are trying to gain the profits from this particular information which is not available in the market. That is the prohibition by the SEBI and known as insider trading prohibition regulation. For example, if a company's director knows about an upcoming profit announcement and buys share beforehand, it's illegal. That's what the insider trading, that it is the information which is not available in market, but the one person knows that particular information and he takes the action to buy the particular share. So SEBI requires companies to maintain structured digital database to track who had access to such information. The second one is takeover code. So what is that takeover code? So takeover code also requires the regulations. Takeover code means regulates the acquisition of shares and control in the listed companies. So any type of acquisition by one company to the another beyond 25% of shares requires a public offer to remaining shareholders. That means if the acquisition is beyond the 25% of shares, so it requires the IPO. Okay. This ensures, what it ensures? Minority stakeholders are not unfairly treated. So this regulation is for the sake of, or for the protection of the minority stakeholders. Both these frameworks are designed to level up the playing field for all market participants. It should not be something like that. Some people have some informations or they can take the advantage of that information and can adopt the policies for buying or selling the securities. Other key regulations are also there which are framed by the SEBI. So we can say that the SEBI is going to frame regulations whenever required or in which area it is required. Let's briefly cover 3 additional regulations which are framed by the SEBI. So the first one is to regulate the mutual funds. The SEBI also framed or came up with the mutual fund regulations. These are the set or the framework for registration, operations and disclosures by mutual funds. Okay, those are covered under the mutual fund regulations. SEBI ensure fund houses disclose NAVs. NAVs is what? Net asset value, portfolio holdings and risk levels regularly to investors. Okay, this is again regulation. PFUTP. What is that PFUTP? It is prohibition of fraudulent and unfair trade practices. So SEBI have also guidelines and the regulations of this also, which prevents practices like circular trading, spreading rumors, circular trading, spreading rumors, pump up and pump down, that is pump and dump, and price rigging. Okay. So SEBI regulatory or regular basis, SEBI on the regular basis, SEBI scans market active to catch these manipulators. That means SEBI scans the market actively to catch such types of manipulators if they are. And SEBI Scores portal. What is that SEBI Scores portal? Let's see. Scores is the online grievance portal actually, SCORES. So Scores is a online grievance portal or grievance redressal mechanism system. Okay. On this portal, investors can lodge complaints if they have with relation to the share markets against any company, any brokers, any type of intermediaries which are performing or which are working in the share markets. And SEBI handles such types of problems lodged by or the complaints lodged by the investors. SEBI also follow up and ensures matter which is registered as the complaint and resolve it efficiently. These tools enhance trust in the investors, both like institutional as well as individual investment, and empowering even the small investors to participate fearlessly in the stock markets. So we can say that these all rules and regulations provide a confidence, a trust by the SEBI in the investors. So in the conclusion of this session, we can say that SEBI actually act as the guardian of the Indian capital markets and provides various types of function, roles and regulations to act as a guardian and to protect their investors and to take the actions of the different types of intermediaries which are faulty playing in the markets. It ensures transparent functioning of the share markets, investor protection as a guardian. They protect their investors and frame the rules and regulations for the proper trading. Corporate accountability is also there. That means they are also accountable towards the corporates and market development. So these all are the objectives by which SEBI plays the different types of role, and they also try to maintain the investor awareness. So whether you are an investor, trader, analyst or a corporate entity, understanding SEBI's role is essential for operating confidently in the financial markets. So with these words, I would like to thank you to learners. See you in the next session.